Well, I got to know Linda when I was running for county attorney. And, you know, Brooklyn Park and the northern suburbs is a pretty big area and a big part of Hennepin County. And I'd grown up in the western part, Plymouth and those areas, and I knew those. I'd ridden my bike everywhere. But Brooklyn Park was new area for me, and it was Linda Scheid that really taught me everything I needed to know about those suburbs, introduced me around to the mayors and the local officials. I still remember those big Brooklyn Park tater tot days parades, and with a big long boulevard, and she'd make sure I knew everyone. So she was really a mentor. And you think about it, when she got into politics in the 70s, she was really in that first generation of women who came on and came on strong. And so by the time I was ready to run for office, she had already shown that a woman could do the job and could do the job well. So I always enjoyed her humor. I enjoyed the fact that she had such a passion for what she did. You know, you think about her first involvement in public service was as a Peace Corps volunteer in Africa. Every step of the way, she was ahead of her time. And she was certainly ahead of her time as a woman in the legislature. She always knew her stuff, and I think that's what really helped her to do so well for her community. I always heard the phrase that you've always heard about how someone has to speak softly and carry a big stick, where in Linda's point it would be that she had to speak softly and carry a big statistic early on, and she didn't speak softly as the years went on, but a lot of women who first got into the game early on, it was tough, and she was someone who was smart about it and did well and really represented her constituents with her all. Well, there was Koya Come Home, when her that was when Koya Knutsen's son, when her husband actually wrote a letter when he was drunk with some of her political enemies, and wrote a note that said, "Koya, come home, I need you to clean the house," basically. And that ended her career as a woman congressman. And then we go on to the next step, which is in the legislature, where Nancy Bradis was one of the first women, Republican from Rochester. And when she took to the floor for the first time, Baldy Hansen, this legislator, stood up and said, I object to her being here because she's not wearing a tie. Then we go on to Muriel Humphrey, who took over Hubert Humphrey's seat when he died. And Muriel Humphrey at first couldn't get into the Minneapolis Club because only men could get in the front door. And so she said, I'm not going to go in the back door. And that's when they changed the rules. So it took a while in our state for people to get used to women in power, and certainly people like Linda Scheid paved the way so that people like me could later run statewide.